Hey everyone, George here, and welcome back to the channel. As you can hear, my voice is getting much better as we go along here, and I'm really happy about that. Feeling a lot better. Today we're going to be talking about this guy right here, and that is the Tidal 75. This is a product made by Seachem, and is not the primary filter for my tanks, but I do have an application for it, and I want to talk a little bit about that. So when we come back, we're going to talk about this Tidal 75 and give you some ideas as to where this might fit into what you are doing. Hang in there with me, and we'll be right back. Welcome back everyone. So as I said in the intro, we're going to be talking about this Tidal 75 right here. This is a Seachem product that was sent to me several months ago, and I've been waiting for just the right opportunity to show you what a good application that this would be used for, and I think I came up with something here. But I wanted to kind of introduce you to this product in a way that not only it can be a standalone product, but also be a supplementary filtration system, such as what I'm using it for. Now, number one, the Tidal 75 is exactly what it says. It will work up to 75 gallons here. It's a absolutely wonderful hang on the back filtration system that can be used for anything up to, like I said, 75 gallons. I would use it for nothing more than 65 because I like to have something that overcompensates a little bit with the filtration. So in that sense, you can use this up to 75, but my recommendation would be that you use this on something that's around a 65 gallon or something like that. That way you've got that little bit of extra in there that gives you an opportunity to get that extra filtration that you need to make sure that your tank is doing the absolute best job that it can. So let's talk about the Tidal 75 and what I like about it. Now, as you can see, this is being used on the back of this tank right here. This tank right here is a tank that I've been using for these rescue discus that I took in. We did a little bit of redesigning on the tank, as you can see. Some of these guys are hiding because I stuck the box up on top here and it spooked them a little bit, but they'll be out and about here. There's about 7 or 8 discus fish in here, but I want to talk a little bit about why I put this on here. Number one, these were rescue fish, and the canister filter that I have and the tank itself has been running for several years, so it's a well-established tank, no problems there. But I was also having to do some sort of medicating as a preventative measure, and so I was a little concerned that the filtration was not going to be enough in here to make this tank run healthy and that sort of thing. So adding the Tidal 75 to this as a supplementary has worked out absolutely fantastic for me. I've had no problems with the system crashing. I've had no problems with fish overreacting to the medication. In fact, we haven't seen any problems with these fish at all. If anything, they are in good health. Now, I don't know what kind of conditions these fish were in before I got them. I just know that this extra filtration from the Tidal 75 has really made the water in here absolutely crystal clear, as you can see, and it does a great job. So let's talk about the filter itself. But before I do, please hit that like, subscribe, leave your comments down below here, and share this video with your friends. That's how the channel grows. If you haven't subscribed already, please do that. That helps me and helps me to bring you good quality videos in the future. So let's get back to what we were talking about here. Now, as you can see here, This is up to 75 gallons, as I said. I would use this, like I said, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but I do want to make sure that you do understand that I would use this on nothing more than 65 gallons, just so that you've got that little extra oomph in there to make sure that your filtration is a little more than what you absolutely need. Now, the highest flow rate in this is 300 US gallons per hour, and that's a lot of turnover. That is an incredible amount of turnover. Of course, this has adjustable flow ratings on it on both the top and the bottom here, and that is very, very helpful in the sense that you can regulate, especially if you're using as a supplementary, you can regulate that in there so that you don't get this monstrous flow. Now, this is an all-in-one tank, so this makes it very easy for me to hang this on the back in the section back here that is the enclosed area, and that works perfect for me. So before this is ever getting into the tank, what it's doing is it's pulling water out of that already filtered water in the back of the tank and filtering it once again, which is what I'm saying about the supplementary filtration opportunities that you have with something like this. This is probably not necessary, it's probably overkill, but it's something that I wanted to demonstrate to you the power of this thing as a standalone or as a supplementary. And we'll get into the standalone here in just a second. Now, this is a self-primer as well, so in other words, you don't have to do any crazy stuff like pouring water into the back of the thing or anything like that. You just simply stick it in there, plug it in, and this thing will pull water up through there in a matter of seconds, and you'll have your flow going without any kind of priming or having to pump it or do anything manually yourself. And that's a really nice feature, something that most of you can appreciate who have had either canisters or hang on the backs where you have to prime them by pouring 2-3 cups of water in there to get them going. You don't have any of that with this guy. This guy is really going to hold up as far as doing that kind of thing for you, which takes that step out of there that you just don't want to have to do. Now, the next thing I would talk about is it's got a self-cleaning impeller on it. I don't know what that means exactly. They explain it in the book here, that this thing just basically, the impeller cleans itself over time, and you know, I don't know exactly what that feature does for me, but anything that cleans itself is a fantastic thing for me as far as I'm concerned here. And when we do another video on this, which we will do a follow-up video here in a couple of weeks or months, just to kind of let you know how we're still performing here, I'm going to know a little bit more about this self-cleaning impeller here. Now, the next thing here is a built-in surface skimmer. Now, that is very interesting because it's nothing like you would normally see with the little spinning, little crown castle kind of shaped thing on the top of the water. This is built right into the filter itself, and is a totally separate entity from the rest of the filtration itself. So it's nice to have that, and any kind of skimmer is always a good thing to have when you're removing particles or things that are floating on the water. So in other words, this is pulling stuff from up high in the water, not stuff down below where the main tube is coming from, but stuff that's high in the water where particles tend to hang out, and it's getting rid of those and doing a very good job of keeping this thing absolutely clean. Now, maintenance alert feature, that's a very cool thing. Right here, you're going to see on the top here that there's a little blue, and I'll do a close-up picture and add that to this video as we're going along here, but that is a little pop-up blue little cylinder that pops up and tells you when this thing needs maintenance. Now, it's going to pop up a little bit when you first use it, just simply because that's what it does. It floats in the water. But when you need maintenance, and you can tell that the sponge and the biometrics that are in here are getting a little bit plugged up and it's time to clean them, that thing's really going to pop up really good and show you it's time. It's time to do some maintenance on this thing. Now the next thing here is the high capacity filter basket, with Matrix Biomedia. Now Matrix Biomedia, if you haven't used it already, it's something you can buy separately in the store. It's probably the best Matrix or biomedia, I should say, out there as far as gathering up and colonizing good beneficial bacteria. And that's something that I like about this, because they offer that with this. Now this basket that comes in the filter itself, you can put any kind of media you want in there. I cut myself a little bit there, sorry about that. If I'm bleeding here, I apologize. But you can put any kind of media that you want in here. If you want to change out some things or add some things, they give you room to add, or they give you an opportunity to change out things to make this thing very personal to you and unique possibly to your system and your needs. So that's something that I really, really liked. And now, I'm not saying that other hang on the backs that are of high quality don't do the same thing. I'm just saying I like the room in this one a little bit better. I had an Awase and a Fluval that I also was going to add to the back of this that were sent to me that are great hang on the backs, and those applications I'll show you down the road because they're very good products as well. But this particular one for this particular tank worked absolutely perfect for what my needs were. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about here is you're going to see the name Seachem on here, and that's something that you'll see the Seachem whale and those kinds of things, which are canister filters, and those are really, really good high quality filters. But in this particular case here, I wanted to use this hang on the back here because it's going to be something that I'm moving around frequently. I'm only going to be using this on this tank because, like I said, we have canister filters down here, and we also have the built-in system that comes in this all-in-one in the back here that's been set up for years, and it does a fantastic job of keeping this water in top condition. But I wanted to, as I said, with these new fish that I've added in here that are 2.5 inch discus, basically is what they are. There might be one that's a 3-inch in here. He is a little bit bigger, but you know, basically we've got 7 or 8 of them in here. I don't know exactly the number. This is just one tank out of many that I deal with, so I'm not 100% sure of what we've got in here, but I know that these rescues were, I think, 7 to 8 fish from the gentleman that offered them to me. So I want to let you know a little bit more about this guy because it's really probably one of the best hang on the backs that I've ever seen, as far as 350 US gallons going through that thing per hour is absolutely phenomenal. And the water flow that comes out of this and the way it's designed, it comes up through the bottom and up to the top, and then it rolls over all of your media that's in there and then right out into your tank. And that is a fantastic way of doing things. That's how most of your canister filters work. So in other words, what I'm saying is, if you want to compare this to a canister filter, you're getting a lot of what you would get with a canister filter. So as I said in the beginning of the video, if you want to use this as a standalone with a 65-gallon tank, I would have no problem believing that this thing will absolutely do a fantastic job of keeping your 65-gallon in top condition with water clarity. As I said, you can beef it up with other media that you might want to put in there. You don't have to do that. You can use what comes with it. But I kind of like to fool around with these things and sort of hop them up a little bit and make them a little bit more to what my needs might be or what my media might be. So in this particular case here, I really didn't do anything to this except for what came with it. But like I said, there are plenty of opportunities because of the size of the basket inside here to do a lot of different things. You could add some more sponge, you could add some more biomedia of different kinds. There's a lot of different products out there that might be very important to you, and get those into your filter. And I think that you know, having that opportunity to do that is really, really important for those of you who are using this as a standalone filter on your tank. In other words, if you're relying 100% on this guy, this Tidal 75 is really going to do a fantastic job. Your warranty on this thing is 3 and 2. What that means is you've got a basic 3-year warranty, plus you have 2 years extra on the motor itself in there. So that's very important. One of the first things that happens sometimes with these hang on the backs is you'll run into some problems here and there, and they'll cover that, but they won't cover the mechanical portion of it after a certain amount of time. So most of these warranties are probably a year to 2 years at the most. So these guys are really, really confident in this product, and it's been out on the market for a while. They've done a little bit more to make it a bit more beefy and that kind of thing. They've made it quieter, and I really, really, really think that you're going to enjoy this particular product. Now, some other things that I wanted to talk about on this is, if you can see up here, this is the filter itself, and like I said, there's 2 different ways to adjust the flow on it. The one down at the bottom here just opens up this valve right here that gives you an opportunity to allow however much water you want to come in there. You can slow that down substantially if you want it to be just something that is extremely quiet and is doing just a very little for your aquarium, just like I said, supplementary kind of things. And you also have a valve adjustment, or not a valve adjustment, but a flow adjustment right here as well, which you can close down to absolutely nothing almost, to opening up wide open and getting that 350 gallons to move through there rather quickly. This is the basket on the thing that I talked about here. And I'm going to add some videos and some pictures to this. You'll see those throughout the video, and you'll know what I'm talking about. But this basket, like I said, is fantastic in the sense that it's just easy to work with in every respect. I'm not going to keep that up here because I want to show you a couple more things. If you want to remove the top of this, it's as simple as just doing this right here, and you have complete access to the basket back here, which is the white, as you can see in here. And you would just flip this back right here and be able to pull the basket out easily, and then flip it back in here if you're wanting to lock it into place. And it does a fantastic job of making sure that that basket stays in place where it's supposed to. And you got to push down on it a little bit to get that to lock properly, but once you do, that is not going to go anywhere. And again, very easy to keep this thing clean. This is the little valve that I was talking about that pops up when maintenance is required. So a very, very nice little cover for this thing that is just easily workable to put this thing back on here, and really shouldn't take much other than that right there to get that back on there. And as I said, you can do maintenance on this thing very, very easily. And again, this maintenance indicator on the top here is absolutely fantastic for those of you who don't want to be thinking about it and you just want to be able to do maintenance when it's absolutely necessary. That's a great indicator, and it's something that is going to save you a lot of time and concern, because it's going to tell you when that maintenance is required. And again, all of this stuff is reusable in here. The sponges, if you're cleaning them just like you would with any other kind of filter out there, Make sure that you are using aquarium water. Do these things when you're doing a water change. Don't rinse them under tap water or anything like that. I'm not saying don't use tap water in your aquarium, but I'm saying use the water that comes out of a water change to maybe rinse your sponges out a little bit, or your bio media a little bit as well. And to be able to do your maintenance on this thing, make sure that you are using aquarium water when you're doing that. I hope I covered this really well for you. And again, I don't get anything for this. I get the product itself. They don't send me a bunch of products other than the one that I'm going to be using for a video. So just know that you know, this product, yes, was free to me, but I'm not doing a video on it because I'm forced to do it. I'm doing it because I like the product. I've been using it for several weeks now, and I found it to be an absolutely wonderful product that I'm very, very happy with. Otherwise, I wouldn't be making a video on it. I don't like making videos on things that I don't believe in myself. If it's something that I believe in, then I'm going to make a video on it, and I'm going to give you an honest opinion on it. If it's something I absolutely hate, I may make a video on it that is going to give you a real evaluation of something, whether I like it or not. Now, we're going to be talking about this tank over the next couple of weeks because I've had some problems crop up with it, and Cobalt, who makes this, hasn't responded really well to it. Of course, they do have a certain amount of warranty on their products, but because I highlight so much of their stuff on my channel, and I do put them in my description area and promote them, I would have thought they would handle things a little bit better. There are some things going on with this tank that I want to talk about in a video here coming up in the next couple of weeks. And I'm going to be very honest with you about this because there's some real serious problems with this tank. And it's the Seaview series. And because of that problem and the way that they've been dealing with it, I want to give you an honest assessment of what you're going to be up against if you run up against this problem. Because this started about a year or so in, right around the warranty time, and I called on it, and they didn't respond very well, so I called again 3 years out, and of course, you know, you would think, you know, they would do something for someone who is pushing their products out there. But I'm going to tell you straight out exactly what I think about this tank and what you should think about and consider before buying it yourself, because there are some problems with it that you could have down the road, and there are other products out there that are better, and I'm going to give you some comparisons on that. And I don't want to talk these guys down. I'm talking from my own experience. I'm not talking to try to slam them for any reason whatsoever, but I am absolutely going to give you an honest assessment on this. Thank you for joining me today. Again, leave your comments down below, and I will get back to you within 24 to 48 hours. I promise to do that. I always do. And I hope that you'll join me on the next one. We got some great stuff coming up here. We're going to be visiting a couple of different areas. I'm going to be traveling a little bit and going to some places that are probably going to be very interesting to you. And we're going to be talking to some of the people in those shops and facilities about their products and why I like them so much. So thanks for joining me. Again, we will see you on the next one. Until then, we're out of here. Take care.